And then I remember, I have all these illnesses. I am crazy. I'm very intelligent, but I'm still kind of crazy. I just happen to think that I'm right about everything and that everything I think is true. So I don't think I'm crazy all the time. And then I feel so stressed out because it's so hard. It's so hard to be as smart as I am. It's so hard to be me. And then I remember, I'm mentally ill. And then I feel so relieved because it's really not my fault. I feel like that's one of the good things about seeing my family members age and knowing that they're mentally ill and hating them because they're fucking crazy and terrible. It's genetic. Then I see how fucking crazy America is, and it's national. And then I remember that there's sex slavery all across the world. There's third world countries, and there's child labor in China, and there's fucking 11-year-old brides in India, and the world is so fucked up. Oh, the entire fucking world is mentally ill and crazy. And then I study history. There was never any hope. Everyone was always fucking insane. If anything, they were more insane, but just in a different way at any given time period. Now I look at religion. You know how fucking crazy you have to be religious? If I even look at medieval paintings and look how fucking distorted their perception of the human body is, and they literally said, that's what humans look like. They must have been crazy. They must have had a low IQ or something back then. I really am fucking insane. But I think the reason why my ego gets so big, and I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm right about everything. I'm not crazy at all, is because I've been in dark nights of the soul where literally I am rocking back and forth naked in my bed for hours and hours. Sometimes I am high when I do it. And I feel so alone. I feel so helpless. I feel like no one is gonna care for me. I feel alone, like I'm in the fucking wilderness. Like no one understands me. I'm fending for myself, and I feel so I don't have a word. That I go numb to how doomed I feel, and I have to convince myself that I am perfectly sane. And because I feel like in those situations where I feel really isolated and alone, like I can't survive, I feel like I am not allowed to be crazy, because otherwise I won't have no one will love me and no one will care for me, and I won't be able to do it for myself, and I'm just gonna die. And I feel the vibration of death. I think that we can all embrace how crazy we are if we feel like we're still worthy of love, if we still feel loved, if we still feel a sense of community, especially. I forget all the time how vital community is for humans, like for like everything, even animals. And I feel like being crazy really isn't a huge deal unless we are isolated and our survival feels like it's on the line. But then again, I'm paranoid, so I isolate myself all the time. And I think if I don't isolate myself and I trust someone, that they're going to betray me, and not only immediately, but they'll betray me in the worst way, and they'll do it several times too. And then they'll come back and do it again when I was least expecting it. And then they'll get someone else to do it on a Tuesday. Also, when I think about how sane everyone is, all you have to do is take a little tiny sheet of LSD or take shrooms or something, or take edibles, and suddenly you are on another dimension and you are insane against your will, whether you like it or not, just because of your brain chemistry being altered, even if it's for a few hours. Yep. So really, all sanity and logic and emotional stability that we have is very fluctuating and very fragile. And then I wonder, why do people have such weird habits? Why do people have such weird hobbies and interests? And they have people are so particular about their routines and the stuff that they eat and the shows they watch and all this little tiny shit. It's because our sanity is so fragile and so complicated, and our sense of safety is usually rooted in the past. So that's why people have like sentimental attachments to like seemingly ridiculous and pointless things. I hope that's not my car. And people are so weird, and people do things sometimes that seem like they are insane or they're just neurotic. It's because that's what keeps them sane. But yeah, around this time last year, November of last year, it's just something about Scorpio season. My sanity was shattered. I felt like at any moment I was about to take my last breath. And now in hindsight, I can tell it was anxiety. It was just repressed emotions trapped in my throat. And I felt like I couldn't swallow. And I was processing a lot of like generational trauma. I talked about that in a video I just made. But yeah, a year ago today, I see why people don't leave their hometown ever in their entire life. I see why people live with their family till the day they die and they can't venture outside their family. And I see why people are just really set in their ways. I think I have to give people more grace. And I see why we have all these crazy and complicated and just maladaptive coping mechanisms to defend ourselves psychologically against our existence. I feel like until you have a true break in sanity, you won't be able to give people grace for the weird and fucked up things they do to preserve their sense of sanity, or to at least preserve their illusion of sanity. We're all literally fucking crazy. I don't know how I can translate what I know through words, or if people can just pick up on what I mean. I have to close that. Like, it's so scary to interact with another person and actually be open to them energetically and feel them, because everyone is fucking insane, especially the older you get. I feel like the younger you are, the more close you are to just your natural self before all this for years of life and all the things you've had to do to survive just accumulate. Something tells me that we get more sensitive with age too, and that's why a lot of people get numb as they get older, and they get very set in their ways, and they get very stubborn. Is because we get a lot more sensitive, because just wear and tear on our psyche. Oh my God. And then if you have sex with someone and you get in a relationship and then you're experiencing yourself from a whole different angle, you'll just see, this is why, like, I say I'm never going to get in a relationship again, but then I know one day I'm just going to change my mind and then just do whatever I'm inclined to do in the moment. It's literally so scary. I feel like this is why people have no choice but to develop very weird structures in their relationships and cheat on their partners and not want to live in the same house or have their own separate room or talk mad shit about their partners and treat them like shit. It's because someone else is so close to you and they're so merged in your energy field that they're triggering the fuck out of you all the time, and you can't handle it because you're just fucking radioactive. You're just I feel like even when you have the best intentions for a relationship or for anything, you don't know how it's going to impact you until you're actually experiencing it, and then you end up doing stuff you never thought you would do. And we like to glorify self-control and it's a virtue and all that shit, but when you're actually in the moment and someone's bringing out a side of you that you didn't even know was there, or you thought, or you forgot about, or you numbed out, you don't have self-control because you don't even know that side of you. I don't know what I started this recording out talking about. Oh yeah, I was going for a walk today and then I remembered that I'm crazy. I remembered that I'm mentally ill, and I felt so relieved because I'm like, now I can stop putting so much pressure on myself. I'm always going to be insane. I'm probably going to get more insane with age. And if I don't have a pet to take care of, I'm probably going to be very insane. When my dogs pass away, I don't know how I'll be able to cope with it. I literally don't know. Yeah, I'm mentally ill. Literally everyone that I've ever met is mentally ill, and they just don't know it. Well, some of them do, but a lot of people are too egotistical, or they're in denial, or they just don't know. But I think everyone I've ever met is crazy, or I drive people crazy. I don't know. No, a lot of people were crazy, and as soon as I met them, I knew it. It's not just me. So I wonder, like, how can we cope with this knowledge that we are irreparably insane, and we always will be, and so will our children, and so were our great ancestors, and there's just no hope when it comes to being mentally stable. I mean, I feel like the best you can do is become mentally numb or mentally repressed, or emotionally, I should say emotionally, because a lot of this is emotional. I feel like community and knowing that even if we are insane, we'll still be able to survive. Because I feel like when you really get into the trenches of it and the nitty gritty of it, mental illness or feeling insane or it feels like it is going to be what kills you. It feels like it's going to be what destroys your chances at survival. Especially if you get too deep in it and you're isolated. I feel like if we have experiences that prove to us that we can be unstable and still be taken care of and still not be burned at the fucking stake for it, then maybe we can channel our insanity into things like, well, maybe we don't have to do anything with it. Maybe it will just be easier to exist. But then it would probably be a lot easier for people to channel it into like art or a craft that they're interested in, or it will just be easier to survive. And I think the stigma around all mental illnesses is due to the fact that everyone's fucking insane, and whoever created stigmas for mental illnesses was just insecure about the fact that they were crazy, so they want to project it and point fingers. And I was talking to my client about neuroplasticity. It's kind of funny to me now, because even if we change the wiring of our brain, we're still going to be fucking crazy. Even if we learn new things and learn a new language and eat our blueberries so we don't get dementia, we're still gonna be crazy. Ugh, I feel like living here, I live in an insane asylum. I think everyone here is developing OCD. Ugh.